Hey everybody, this is J&H, and I'm going to give a quick video demonstration of how the auto water change device works and how it's set up. So right here is the mixing station that's in my basement, and it's pretty basic for a mixing station. It's got two barrels. The barrel on the left is for fresh water, fresh out of the RO/DI system, which is right next to it. And there is a Kent float valve that's tied in, just a mechanical on-off type float valve. And there's a Gatorade bottle that's been zip tied to the float because I don't trust the ones that come in from Kent, so that gives it a little bit more buoyancy. But basically, the RO/DI will fill up this brute on the left, and the one on the right is for freshly mixed salt water. And there's a MAG 9.5 pump that's in the center, and it's pretty simple. If you think about it, you've got a pump, and that pump needs an input. So these two valves on the bottom just determine which barrel is feeding the pump. So right now, the right barrel is actually feeding the pump because I'm mixing salt water in the right barrel. So when the pump takes on water, it'll just pretty much, depending on which valve is open, will send the water. So in this case, it's carrying water to the top of this brute on the right, which will just mix inside there with salt. And there's a heater in there. So right now we're at 73, which is not where I want it, but it's getting up to temp. So what I do is the left brute will fill up, and the right one is typically empty. So I will close the input from this barrel, and I'll draw off of the freshly filled RO/DI barrel to fill this one, and then put salt mix, close this one, open this one, and just circulate through that barrel to mix up the salt mix. Once it's mixed, this valve right here will get closed, and actually what I'll do is I'll do a water change right now to show you guys what's going on. Now some quick history in here. I don't know if you can see it, but center picture, about 10 inches from the bottom of the barrel, is a float valve, and that's going to send a signal to the water change device letting it know that this barrel is just about depleted. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to unplug the MAG 9.5, and I'm going to plug it into this extension cord right here. Now when we go upstairs, I'll show you where this is at the other end of it. Okay. Alright, so the other thing that's back here is this gray wire. This goes up to the sump as well. So we've got the 3/4 inch pipe, the trigger wire, and then the extension cord that the pump is plugged into. Now you will notice that there's a check valve in place. Now that check valve just simply allows the water to stay in this pipe and not drain all the way back down every time that 9.5 is being triggered on and off while the water change is taking place. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open the line to send water to the sump when the pump is triggered. We're going to shut off this one so that right now we're feeding off of the freshly mixed into the 9.5, and then it's going to go up through the check valve and then into the sump every time that cord is energized. Now this valve here is for draining this line after the water change is complete. it'll basically just bypass the check valve so that there's not any standing water that's left in that line. So it looks complicated, but it's actually pretty simple. Like anything in a reef tank, it looks like it's more complicated on the plumbing end, but it's pretty simple. So we're going to go upstairs and I'll show you under the tank what's going on there, and then we'll actually kick on the water change.